Welcome back to this Monday Live right here on the Early Line on SportsGrid and all across the SportsGrid network. We round out this Monday with a solo mission for the final few minutes to look at the second week of this 2024-25 college basketball season tipping off tonight. Plenty of ranked teams in action and some compelling games ahead of tomorrow in the Champions Classic. We'll get Kentucky and Duke, Kansas and Michigan State. We'll talk about those games on a Tuesday night tomorrow, of course, to set the stage for the second full week of the college basketball season. Let's look at the docket and what we have tonight. Will Wade's McNeese State team heads to Tuscaloosa to take on number 2 Alabama. 20.5-point spread in favor of the Crimson Tide has actually worked its way down early on this Monday, just 18 and a hook in favor of the Tide, who covered in their opener, did not cover in their second game of the year, and despite a potent offense yet to play to the over so far this season. Again, only 2 games. Now, McNeese is a team out of the Southland that is going to be one of the better mid-major teams we expect around the country this year. But they did lose their season opener to another strong mid-major out of the Summit League, that being South Dakota State. McNeese was booked as a double-digit favorite in that game, lost outright. Total tonight, 166.5, a slight bit of juice on the over. I do think we see some points. Iowa State against UMKC. They look good to start this year. One of the best defensive teams in the country, 27.5-point favorite against Kansas City. Texas A&M bouncing back from an opening loss this season against UCF. They take on Lamar. Now 1-1 are the Aggies under Buzz Williams, 23.5-point favorite. Big blow for Purdue, as we learned yesterday. They're 7'4". Yes, they have another 7'4" big man, Daniel Jacobson, the freshman from Chicago, out for the remainder of this year for the Boilers. He injured his leg, I believe a fractured tibia. He is out for the remainder of this season. He will redshirt. Is Purdue going to play small ball? More than likely not. They still have Will Berg, the 7'2" Swedish man, who is going to be there for the Boilermakers against a tournament team in Yale who won the Ivy last year and, of course, upset Auburn in the round of 64. Purdue a 16.5-point favorite. We have yet to see Ace Bailey for Rutgers. We did see St. Peter's keep it tight with Seton Hall last week on the opening night. And then Seton Hall got beat by Fordham over the weekend. Not a great start to this season in Orange. For South Orange, for Shaheen Holloway and this Hall ball team. Might Ace Bailey make his debut tonight for Rutgers? They're a 15.5-point favorite in that showdown in the Garden State. Now let's take a moment to talk about the game sandwiched in between the two Big Ten teams on your board. That is Florida. They're a 23.5-point favorite against Grambling State. That is not the story. The head coach, Todd Golden of the Gators, is the story. In his second year in Gainesville, Todd Golden is now under investigation by the university for multiple Title IX investigations into sexual harassment claims made by students at Florida. This was uncovered in a great student newspaper piece late last week by the Alligator. Again, the student newspaper and the student journalists doing the hard work there in Gainesville. Todd Golden has now retained some legal advice. He is going to push back on these claims. And despite the inquiry into the sexual harassment and Title IX claims, Todd Golden remains the active head coach for Florida. He is coaching tonight for the Gators. I don't think that's the correct call, but that is the call that Scott Strickland, the AD in Gainesville, has made. Any developments to that investigation, of course, we will bring you. It was an interesting opening weekend around college basketball. Maybe you heard the headlines on Friday night. The Auburn team plane having to redirect and land as they were headed to Houston to take on the Cougs because of a fight among teammates on the plane. Then what did Auburn do? They go to H-Town and they upset Houston in a matchup between the two top-rated teams in KenPom. Still the top 2 rated, but Auburn moves in front of Houston. You saw the team, Janai Broome and many of the Tigers, flying around after the game looking like a plane. They're leaning in Auburn is a team to be reckoned with this year in the SEC. Again, the opening week of college basketball officially comes to a close tonight, if you will. It started a week ago, a huge Tuesday night slate in the Champions Classic with some of the blue bloods in the sport facing off. We'll preview it tomorrow when the early line returns, 8 a.m. Eastern on a Tuesday on SportsGrid.